The Old Man and the Sea is a short novelette by the world-famous American author, Ernest Hemingway. He wrote during his stay in Cuba in 1951. A year later, the novel was published in America, bringing a sort of revolution in the field of fiction writing. The novel comprises an aging Cuban professional fisherman who fails to fish due to his age for 84 days. However, in his last attempt, he hooks rather a giant marlin which tests his strength, resilience, expertise, and perseverance beyond his natural abilities. The novel won the Pulitzer Prize that year but went on to win the Nobel Prize for Hemingway in 1954. The Old Man and the Sea is a heart-touching story of an experienced old angler, Santiago, who is dubbed as an unfortunate man on the terrace where he used to stay when returned from his fishing trips. It was the first time during his 84 days record of having arrived without any fish. He has been finally termed Saleo, the most unlucky person. However, he is not disappointed with the fact that a young boy, Manolin, is always there to boost up his confidence. Who'd always say that Santiago is the best fisherman in the world? They also share their interests in baseball and the best players such as DiMaggio's memories with each other. On the 85th day, Santiago leaves quite early in the morning after setting fishing gear in his skiff and goes long and deep into the Gulf Stream for fishing. After setting up various lines with proper baits, he waits for the fishes to come. By afternoon, he catches a giant marlin after seeing which he feels that it is going to test his fishing skill, stamina, and perseverance. By the evening the old man is exhausted, as the marlin does not appear on the surface. Both are hidden from each other, testing each other and trying to free each other. Santiago believes that fate has something else for them in store. For 2 days and nights, the old man continues struggling to kill the fish to haul him around to lash beside his skiff. However, he does not succeed, neither does the marlin succeed in breaking his resolve. On the final day, the marlin starts circling around the skiff after coming to the surface, at which the old man becomes quite happy but is exhausted to the point of madness. He starts using his fishing tactics and finally succeeds in placing the harpoon in the heart of the marlin. However, he soon faces the dilemma of confronting the sharks, thinking they will come running amok toward his skiff on account of the blood trail the dead marlin is leaving behind in the water. His worst fear comes to pass as the first wave of attack comes from the mako sharks. He also sharpens his weapons and starts using a harpoon to kill them. Soon he succeeds in slashing 5 of them, but many others are on the way. The fight continues until the sharks have devoured almost half of the marlin, but the old man does not lose his heart and strength. He continues fighting until he reaches the shore. However, when he reaches the coast, he sees only the skeleton of the marlin with its head and tail. Santiago, however, has uttered the most memorable sentences during his fight that a man can be defeated, but not destroyed, and he has shown it through his stamina and prolonged fight with such a giant marlin. Soon he falls upon his bed after reaching his hut and goes to sleep. When the day breaks, other fishermen gather around his boat to see the giant skeleton. At first, they did not believe Santiago would be caught. Pedrico, a local, gets the head of the fish, while other fishermen feel sorry for the old man for having lost such a great prize. However, the boy only cries for the old man for having exhausted himself without getting that prize home. Finally, Santiago dreams of baseball as well as African beaches with lions while he is asleep in his hut. The title of the novella, The Old Man and the Sea, suggests the critical thematic role that age plays in the story. The book's 2 principal characters, Santiago and Manolin, represent the old and the young, and a beautiful harmony develops between them. What one lacks, the other provides. Manolin, for example, has energy and enthusiasm. He finds food and clothing for Santiago, and encourages him despite his bad luck. Santiago, in turn, has wisdom and experience. He tells Manolin stories about baseball and teaches him to fish. Santiago's determination to be a good role model for Manolin is one of his main motivations in battling the marlin for 3 days. He wants to show Manolin what a man can do. Santiago's age is also important to the novella because it has made him physically weak. Without this weakness, his triumph would not be so meaningful to him. As Santiago says, he had seen many fish that weighed more than 1,000 pounds and had caught 2 of that size in his life, but never alone and never as an old man. Santiago finds solace and strength in remembering his youth, which is symbolized by the lions on the beach that he sees in his dreams. He recalls these lions, slow, graceful but fierce creatures, from the perspective of an old man. In doing so, he realizes that he too, although slow, can still be a formidable opponent. Since The Old Man and the Sea is the story of a man's struggle against a marlin, it is tempting to see the novella as depicting man's struggle against nature. In fact, through Santiago, the novella explores man's relationship with nature. He thinks of the flying fish as his friends, and speaks with a warbler to pass the time. The sea is dangerous, with its sharks and potentially treacherous weather, but it also sustains him by providing food in the form of dolphins and shrimp. Finally, Santiago does not just see the marlin as an adversary, he loves it as a brother. In the middle of their struggle, Santiago says to the marlin, "Come on and kill me. I do not care who kills who." Santiago's statement shows the depth of his admiration for the marlin and hints at the fundamental law of nature that unites man and animal: all beings must die, must kill or be killed. In this way, man and nature are joined in a circular system, in which death is necessary and fosters new life. Although the old man has not caught a fish for 84 days, he doesn't blame anyone or give up. Instead, he defies bad luck and keeps going out, even redoubling his efforts and going out further than anyone else into the open sea. The marlin also perseveres. It does not surrender but uses its size and strength to pull the old man's skiff even farther out to sea, making it an even more formidable adversary. The battle between the old man and the fish is more than a trial of strength, it is also a battle of wills. Both are determined to win, and we see what the old man is willing to endure to defeat the fish. They are separated from the rest of the world on a wide sea, and their battle is now central to their existence. The old man is physically small and weak compared with the marlin, but he defeats the fish because of his willpower. He is willing to endure exhaustion, hunger, thirst, and pain. When the sharks attack and eat the marlin, the old man kills or fights them off one by one, despite losing a weapon with each confrontation until he has nothing left but his bare fists. Returning home with nothing but the skeleton to bear witness to the greatest catch of his life and his skiff badly damaged, Santiago is not defeated, nor is his spirit broken. He will carry his mast to and from his skiff day in and day out, doing what fishermen are meant to do: fish. Hemingway's famous philosophy about the human spirit was that a man can be destroyed but not defeated. It is a recurrent theme in all his works. Here again, the old man, after the struggle of his life, is destroyed by the sharks eating the fish he has caught in that struggle, and when he gets back he won't make any money out of it. However, he goes to bed and wakes up fresh and determined to go out fishing again. In spite of his suffering and loss, he is not defeated. Santiago and Manola's relationship is full of love and understanding. Despite the difference in their ages, they seem to understand one another. Santiago has a different sort of love for nature. Though nature is often the cause of his misfortune, Santiago still respects it and treats it as a companion rather than an adversary. The novel The Old Man and the Sea shows faithfulness to the classical unity of time, place, and action that is, with a discrete start, extended middle, and termination. The plot includes 3 days and nights that mostly occur on the sea and illustrates one series of events. The events are interwoven with clever prophecy, mainly done through Santiago's recurrent exhortation of going out too distant, his often calling his excavation his brother, his views about baseball, and his envisaging about spirited lions that he saw years before on African seashores. We see Manolan in the first part of the novel and in the last part. Hence, the novel or novella has a masterpiece form, with Manolan founding the little first and third subjects and an old man pitted in contrast to the sea and its mortals as the further extravagant subsequent subject.